Hello everyone and welcome to a long overdue university blog. More importantly, it's the dissertation, the documentary that I did just before Christmas, and this blog essentially is covering every single aspect of what it involved, from the filming of it through to the editing process, the special effects, and finally the post-production side of it. Now this all started back in, I believe it was September, might actually have been early October, when I came up with the idea. Well, not me personally, but a teacher of mine, Yvonne, gave a suggestion that I do it on the Evoultion of Concept Art on Doctor Who since 2005, which I didn't think I'd be able to do it, to be honest, but you know, because it was something I enjoy watching it. I'm more of a fan in concept art these days, so I went along with that because I felt it was something I could do. The first job was obviously to do research into it and try and find people who would be willing to participate and take part in it. Fortunately, I knew someone who was more than willing to help out, Nathan Ward, who is on the documentary, which will be uploaded on here at some point in January, obviously 2015. Once I'd agreed with him that I'd meet him at an event and ask him some questions, I then went about coming up with questionnaires for certain individuals or certain companies to answer. Now, the questionnaires that I put out, I really had to consider every aspect of concept art on Doctor Who, and it wasn't just from the show itself. It was leading into the adventure games, which were from 2010 to 2011 on PC, which you can get via the Doctor Who website to download. There's a link about them in the bar below. And also there was the concept art for Dreamland, which I sent to someone who did some concept art for that episode, and that was while I was trying to find out people who'd done concept art, typing in stuff like Doctor Who Dreamland art or Doctor Who concept art Dreamland, and I came up on Google search the company Tavalion, I think that's how you pronounce it. Their website is in the description bar below, so do check that out. Once I'd researched those two, I then did a questionnaire for them and sent it off, and the main problem that I had was obviously the adventure games. I had to do quite a lot of research on who was involved in the concept side of it. Now, originally when I was doing research, found that there was Revolution Games, but more specifically Charles Cecile. Now, when I got an email back off them saying that he was just an advisor, he wasn't really hands-on design, they gave the name of a company to me, which is in Sheffield, so it's in the UK, so it's not that, well, it's kind of not that far away. Sumo Digital. And at the end of October, I sent an email to them explaining what I was doing, and how it was relating to what I wanted to do. And time went by and I hadn't heard anything. Because obviously the original plan was I was going to do a short interview with a more short questionnaire. Now, round about the time of the Bradford Animation Festival, which is I think on the 3rd week of November, I got an email from the art director, Darren Mills, who had only recently got back to me because he'd been out of the country for quite a while and he wasn't going to be back in the country till December the 1st, which is a blessing because that was the only piece of interviewing I had to do, because I'd done the interview with Nathan at Kleptomania on the Saturday. So I'd done that on the 16th, which was great because then I got it done. And once I had that, then I knew then it was one piece of footage that I could use in the documentary. And once I exchanged email conversations with Darren about, you know, what time to shoot it, what day to shoot it. We arranged the Thursday the 4th of December, and I travelled down on that day because I was obviously meant to be working a Christmas casual job, which due to the shifts I was doing there and the times I was getting back, it was ridiculous and I couldn't do it because I wouldn't have been able to carry on doing this documentary and shoot this amazing thing that I did. So as a result, I cancelled the job and just carried on with the work. So for you guys who were obviously in the presentation room seeing the documentary, everything you saw in that is a result of me giving up that job, and that's why I look so super. So yeah, I went down to Sheffield on the 4th, and once I got there, I had to fill out some copyright. I had to sign a copyright document, which apparently is given to any visitor of Sumo Digital, to make sure that I don't mention anything, or anything I see there I don't put on Facebook or YouTube or any blog or whatever, which I was quite happy to do. Now, obviously, originally the questionnaire which I had written for Charles Cecile, I took with me because there were some questions I felt could be used for Darren and the lead concept artist on the games, Richard Jordan, to answer, which they were quite happy to. We sat down, talked through how the interview was going to go, where the camera was going to be positioned, because Richard had with him, and they've got this computer on a big screen in the room, which obviously you'll have seen the concept images going through as a slideshow. Now, due to the camera's position and the lighting in the room, some of the images do actually look quite bright, and that's generally due to the position and probably the setting I had on the camera at the time. But we discussed, went through the questions, and Darren and Richard were more than happy to answer the ones that I got. They went through them, talked it over a cup of coffee, as you do, and we went on from there. Now, once the interview was over, I said to him that I'd get it all edited, put together. Obviously the first people that would see it would be obviously you guys who obviously watch the blogs and watch these, and you saw the documentary on the 18th of December, and also Stuart, Evoultion and Maurice as well. Once that was done, I said to him that before I actually upload the documentary to either YouTube or Facebook, I will send him a copy, which as it happens I've been in contact with Darren about, and I'm going to get him one sent after uni starts. So I'm going to send one on the 5th of January, and all being well, there shouldn't be any problems with it, and then I can get it uploaded. Because I know there's some of you out there who have been asking about it. So like I say, I can't upload anything until I've had the old clear off Simo Digital. Okay. Next. Filming. Now, obviously I've talked about the filming for the 2 interviews. Now, before the Simo Digital stuff, there was the actual filming of the documentary itself, like my stuff. Now, I wrote out a script for this because, now, I don't know whether she was joking or being serious at the time. Yvonne says, why don't I just do it dressed as Doctor Who? Which I did. Now, obviously you've seen it and you know I was actually in the outfit, and I did it in the photography studio, which is normally used for photo shoots, but I was using it for this documentary, and I was using green screen. Now at the time I didn't know how I was going to handle the green screen because I'd never used it before, and there was the concern that it might be a bit tricky to add the all images and everything. Now I needed someone who was good with working on camera and everything, and this is why I approached Frank. Obviously a lot of you know him. He agreed to help me out, and I said I'd put him in the credits for the documentary, and also my dissertation essay, which I'm currently working on. He also assisted, Frank also gave me guidelines of where to stand, mainly for the opening shot, which is me walking on with, you've seen it already. I walked on, did a little bit of scanning and threw the book off, and that was originally going to be it. It took about 3 or 4 takes because on most of them I kept going out of shot, which was kind of annoying and also quite fun because they're in the bloopers, which are on my Facebook and on the how do I get this right? The Brotherhood of Cake or Death group, which is for all those lot. Now, for those of you who haven't seen them, do check them out, and I'm gonna actually put a link in for Facebook. It's in the bar below. Also, there are many things which, regards to the filming, I actually enjoyed, and a lot of the time stuff that you hear from the set, well, not from the set, but from the filming itself, was just me being in character, and I think I enjoyed it so much that I just carried on with it. There were some bits in there which, there's one particular bit which is more or less near the beginning where obviously I tap the camera because I'm in character at that point, and Frank says yes, it's on, it's recording. That was originally going to be an outtake, but I said to Frank, look, let's usually it's on as a complete, as like a continuity thing, because then I then say, alright, don't have a panic attack. So that's all one thing. So everything you see in that bit was all one thing. There was various other bits which we shot. I think the most fun I had was with the last scene, because I think I went through about 11 takes before I got that right. Because to be fair, it had been a long day, and I'd done the filming in the morning, gone to do the job in the afternoon, come back at midnight, and then gone do more filming the day after. So I think, to be honest, with the second day of filming, I was just so shattered, I just couldn't think straight, and I just gone. So as far as the filming goes, it was an enjoyable experience, and one that I'm very grateful to Frank for helping me out. Right then, editing, yes. Now this was a bitch of a sequence, I'll tell you that much. And yes, I swore there. First job was going through each shot and naming them all, which took quite a while because there was bloopers in there as well. I had to differentiate the bloopers from the actual shots that I used and put them into a different folder, because you had the bloopers, and there was so many folders I was creating. It was going to be tricky to work out where everything was, but luckily, because I made the folders, I knew where everything was. Once all the shots had been named as shot 1, shot 2, etc., I then went about going into After Effects, and this is where really Frank's experience in After Effects really helped, because he knew After Effects, he knew how to work it. As far as the green screen is concerned, it was just a case of, hang on a minute, I'm going to remember the tool. I can't remember the exact tool name, but I know keying is in it, which I select, I think it's effects. It's effect, keying, and then there's this little small tool. It kind of looks like a microphone, but it's not. You click on that, and then wherever the green screen is in the shot behind me, obviously not right now, but for example, if there was a green screen behind me now, the tool would click the green screen and then it would go to black, and then whatever image was going to go behind me, I would then drag in to that, or drag it to the timeline. I'd put it in the exact place, and then I'd work out the actual size I wanted it to fit on screen. So once Frank showed me the first time how to do it, it actually became, it was like second nature to me. I just knew what to do with it. So once we got all those uploaded, and once I'd got the actual images in, which involved a lot of Google images search, some of them were concept art images by Peter McKinstry, some of them were photoshopped images, hence the Dalek one, because obviously that is a BBC Doctor Who image and it has the website up, so that had to actually get photoshopped out, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to use it. That was pretty much the easiest part of editing. The difficult part of editing was doing God knows how many exports of different files and spending hours and hours. Well, I say hours and hours, it's kind of like 8 hours a day. Just going through it and working out what else needed to be done to make it look better. Now, regards to the explosion, which is right near the beginning, which is when I took the book off. I always remember me saying earlier, it was just chuck the book off and that was it. But we both came to the idea that, you know, we needed to have something in there to, you know, kind of link sort of by sort of going like that. So we came with the idea of, you know, have some sort of explosion. Now originally it was going to be a bit of white smoke, Then we found an explosion on there. It was okay, it wasn't really what I was needing. And then I found another one which is a proper like big bomb explosion, and we had that in, and it really worked well. Obviously from your reactions watching it, you weren't expecting it. Come on, be honest, none of you were expecting that explosion in. That was a fun bit. Getting into Premiere, I think I was more at ease with Premiere because I was using it for a final year project, which I'll be talking about in blog 7. The difficulty with editing is the amount of hours you do, or the amount of hours I was doing in Premiere. At times it was kind of like I was doing nothing else, just like I could just think of nothing else except editing, which I did for pretty much almost 3 weeks. So even at a weekend I was editing. So it's like even if I went back home to see my family, I'd take the laptop, and even if I had 4 hours to spare, I would still be editing. That's how much of myself I put into this thing. And you obviously see the end result. It's something I never thought I'd spend so long doing, but in my case, because I'm passionate about obviously Doctor Who and concept art, which is the industry I want to go into, I worked my absolute balls off on the thing. And don't take that out of context. But yeah, I really worked my socks off on it. You know, at times I wasn't getting much sleep because I was just working on it. The day of actually showing it, well, Tuesday. The Tuesday before I showed the documentary, I was still working on it right up till lunchtime, really. Just like fine-tuning it, making sure everything was right. And it's a good thing I did check, because the Sumo Digital interview at the time was the After Effects video version, and that had no sound. So it was a good thing I went back in and checked and put the correct one in, because it wouldn't have looked good if there had been about 10 minutes of interview with no sound. So that's something you didn't know. The original copy had no sound in the interview at all. It was just a case of them mouthing like this. So there you go. Something you didn't know. So yeah, overall it's been a exhausting and enjoyable experience. Will I want to do something like that again? Probably yes. Would I want to do one in the next year or so? I'd probably want to do a big... I'll probably do something. Don't know yet. And then the last thing that I did on the Thursday before the presentation was before the presentations in the afternoon, I was advised by Ollie to just do a couple more backups. You know, just in case the teachers needed a copy to look at. So there's the copy that I have, and there was the 2 extra copies which I did for Yvonne and Maurice, so they can look at it over Christmas, which also includes the bloopers, which no doubt people have seen God knows how many times. I know I've seen them God knows how many times, and they're still funny now. So yeah, that is the whole story behind the documentary. and what I went through. And believe me, I went through a lot of long nights and long days. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's probably been about 24-25 minutes, which is almost as long as the documentary itself, funnily enough. So next time I'll be doing a blog will probably be before deadline for Negotiated Studies 1. So yeah, my Facebook channel, my Facebook page for my channel is in the description bar below. Now I am meaning to put these blogs up on my YouTube channel, but like I say, it's gonna be January 2015 when that's done. So I'll have about 3-4 blogs to put up. So in the meantime, they will be on my Facebook channel for my page, which is in the description bar below, along with all the other links I've just mentioned. So thanks very much to Nathan for helping out, Sumo Digital's Darren Mills and Frank Jordan for agreeing to do the interview, and also to Frank for helping me with the visual effects, editing and the filming. Bye.